Okay, guys. You know, I build a lot of 372s. I've built hundreds and hundreds of these buggers. You get them all which ways. Well, here's something. Here's something interesting, actually. I can get them. They look like this. That's got parts missing. And you think you got some. The next thing you know, you see a little goober right there. Silicone. Then you get looking really closer, and then you see a big long groove. Or somebody used one of these just to yank a seal out. Put a new seal in, run the case. Yeah, you might be able to silicone that, you might not, but I got a real funny feeling. This is how that came to me. It's not going to take a seal, I'll bet you. But we're going to play the silly game. This is what parts of my day are. You disassemble a saw. The nice thing is, it looks like it's got a fairly decent gas tank. I know it's a real X torque, 372. And it is a 2016. Yeah, you know, that's pretty new, but it's old enough. So, all I do, I'm getting where with these things, you're resurrecting. Then you get them like this. You know, missing parts. This is all you get. Top cover's gone. There's one that definitely won't take a seal. You see in there where the crank rode there. So you got a case half. That's what you got. And you get them just like this. The same thing here. You get them, think, well, maybe that's a good set of case. This is stuff I've tore apart. And then you look, oh, it's broke. Yeah, tree got it. And then you get them. It's like, well, OEM crank's got the right everything going for it. And somebody lost a clip and decided to weld that on the end of the crank. Done. I'm getting tired of spending money to buy this crap. I generally catch it when I look at them straight away. So, what do you do with this? Where do you start? I'm going to tell you exactly where I started. And this is going to be something rather unusual. I am going to start with some new parts. And the cover just fell. Okay. Brand new cases. Yep. Just bite it. Buy them. Now, these happen to be Farmer Tech cases, okay? I will tell you something. They're awfully good. But I don't like the cranks. Yeah, you know, I run the bearings once in a while in a stock saw, you know. But in this case, I'm not going to. We're going to put ceramic hybrids in this. These are very strong cases. Everything fits well. This set of cases, $50. That's what they call for a set of cases. As long as you got something to go with it. When you're done, you got something. You really do. Full wrap, Husqvarna handle. Now in here is also, you won't be able to see it, just the ends of them, West Coast dogs. You can buy these for $50. Okay, see where we're headed with this? We're going to customize the saw the way we want it. Just the way we want it. Brand new top cover. OEM 365. Low top. Brand new. $63. It's a great place to start. Great place. Okay. Now the thing is, to use a low top cover, which is really good because you can use your belly vise. You know, you lean right over that without that big hump in your way. Now this is aftermarket filter, which I'm not real keen on them. They'll work for a while. These parts are just fine. This is the air horn with the clip and everything for the aftermarket cover. 18 bucks. I bought a brand new gas tank. I bought a brand new side cover for a chain side. I spent $70-something on a brand new OEM recoil. I'm into the saw for a tune of about $400. It's going to look like this when I'm done. Okay, so when I could buy an old Hulk of a saw for 40-50 bucks, there ain't much left of. You just keep getting them. Look at the price of these used ones. You have to look at eBay as a beater. Yeah, there's a few bargains out there, but I'm not the one that finds them. I'm getting tired of just stepping it up, paying premium for less than nice. Let's just put it that way. So I'm going down this road, and I'm going to build a saw. And we're going to test this, and we're going to see exactly how nice it works out. Okay, you can see, yeah, when you can customize a saw the way you want it, high top, low top, 3/4 wrap, full wrap handle, West Coast dogs, East Coast dogs, what bore do I want, all this. It's a really nice way, isn't it? I want to touch on something. I was in a little conversation with JC Saw Shop in the comments in the last video. He's questioning the validity of our little screens that I put in this 372 that's behind me. Them. I see a lot of debate, a lot of wondering. Makes me wonder too. Be it very polite. I'd like a healthy debate in the comments. I'll participate in that. Rude, nasty comments, forget it. I don't want to get in the middle of your crap. But, because something always sticks, you know what I mean? Just throw it up against the wall and see what sticks. I have been testing. We will be doing more testing to see if this is a good idea. Where the debate actually is these are air injection. Okay? This little air horn, you see right here, that picks up air off the flywheel. Flywheel turns this way, and it pulls air off the fan. It comes out right there. Okay? It goes in this little hole right here in your package tray. This is underneath the carburetor, obviously. And blows air into this area. Okay? So you have your top. This is bolted down. There's no seals here. There's none. You have this little hole for your screwdriver and your knots. There's no pressure for that carburetor. You're not getting pressure. You have air volume. My thought, which I had mentioned on these Husqvarna air screens, well, they fit any saw, they really do, is that because there's no place for the air to come out of that top cover, all the fines stay in there. Yeah, it blows it around. It has to find a way out sooner or later, and it just doesn't have a place to exit. This is it. Okay, so by putting these in, my thought is you're picking up off the flywheel, going through that air horn, it'll blow air through past the air cleaner and out them screens. It's not going to pressurize the saw. Big argument. Okay. We're going to get moisture and everything in right here and blah, 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 and it's going to cause trouble. Hey, you know, that could happen. Do we need to know this? Is this really what's going to happen? You know? So, for this to function as I assumed that it would, even idling, it has to have low air coming out of the screens, right? And it's very obvious they're situated where they'll come past the cover. Let me move some junk out of my way. Let's get right down to the bottom of this straight away. Let's figure out, are we doing the right thing or aren't we? That's what I want to know. And I had me a little screwdriver here. It was right where I left it. This is a nice saw. It really is. Okay. So I can see that air can come up that little air horn and around this air cleaner. Okay. I also see from the inside of the cover, which is not sealed, that it can go right out them screens. That's what I see. Okay. Okay, so I haven't done anything but get air out of the filter, what Husqvarna forgot to do. All right, probably deliberately. I in no way have altered how air comes in the saw, because it obviously comes in the screen. Flywheel fan picks it up, throws it through that air horn up into the air cleaner cover. With these vents, it will come out around both sides, and the fines will come out of this. The one question that was asked, which is valid, well, if air's sucking in there in the wintertime, you're going to get moisture in there, and you're going to cause all kinds of grief. Now, if it did do that, if they were sucking air in, yeah, well, you know, that could happen. On the saws that don't have air injection to clean the filter, like some of the early ones, I think in the wintertime, I'd have a spare cover without these, okay? But I would also make sure I had a way of getting heat off the cylinder up in that area. Carbs do ice. They just really do. So this is half of the debate solved. Okay, we're getting data. We're walking forward with this. I'll tell you what needs to be done. We need to get a little micro camera inside here while we're running the saw to see what's going on in the air box without these screens, and then do with the screens to see if we can see a difference. We also need to be able to physically see if we can catch the fines coming through. Okay, I think it's a great idea to have these in at this point. I'm convinced that it's really a step in the right direction on an easy saw mod that is going to help. Like I said, there's no pressure. It just can't get pressure there. It's not an air pump. You know, if Husqvarna was trying to get any kind of pressure in the carburetor, which it can't at this point, they would have come up with something that had a sealed cover and it was a little more effective. But here's where we're at with it. We learn as we go, don't we? As new products get developed, we have to test them, try them, see where the hook is. You can find these on eBay. Just look up Husqvarna air vent. That's all you got to do, and it's pretty easy. I don't know what more to say about that subject at this point. I have already been running them in another saw, and I didn't see any difference as far as I'm not clogging an air filter. I'm not changing the operation of the saw, but I hadn't run it long enough to really need to clean the air cleaner. In the 371 and 372, Husky had that right down pat for air filtration. They really did, which I was pretty stoked about all that. Boy, I tell you, it was a big game changer. It really was for us logging. A lot of you guys have been asking questions. This is an old motor that I've had that I built quite a bunch of years ago. We actually put it in my black 77 Chevy step side short box. It's an LS6 454. It's got the factory steel crank, the dimpled rods, the domes, the 280,000 dome. They're not great big ones. It was a real runner. Well, Colin wants to go drag racing, do a little foot brake racing. So the big joke is, we detuning the motor a little bit. We took the heads that was on that's pretty wild. So we went to the aluminum heads. And this is just mocked up. This is not a finished motor, but we got nice parts ready to go. That's a 1050 Holley Dominator on there. It's a nice setup. We still got valves in the heads. Know what cam we're running for sure. The one thing I know we're doing is we're pulling this crank and rods out and saving them for another motor in the pistons. We're looking at the fact that you never know what the future brings. You might want to do some no prep racing. Okay, to compete and heads up no prep, if that's the direction we go, or he goes, rather, not me. I'm going to be the old man behind the scenes on this, the tech guy, And I know stuff about junk. I've drag raced for a long time. I don't do it anymore. In fact, this was actually built to be one of my drag motors. We just threw it in the truck. Got it all filthy dirty. That was probably, I'm going to say 15 years ago, 14 years ago. But we might run a 250 horse shot of nitrous on this. Well, the rods and crank in there were pretty stout in them LS6s. That's 4-bolt main block. But not good enough for nitrous. And so if we run a 250 horse shot of nitrous, that'll get us well over 1,000 horse. So that's pretty significant. So we're going to go in there probably with crawler mainly rods and the Cali's crank and the real good short skirt pistons that can handle the nitrous. I don't know where this is headed. He might just stay foot brake racing in brackets and just have a ball. I told him that's where the most fun is. It's the least amount of pressure, least amount of investment, but the most amount of fun. And if that's what happens, he's going to have a bulletproof motor. He's not going to ever hurt it. After a long time, yeah, you will. So anyway, that's a little update on what this is. I covered it on live feed, but yeah, we'll talk about things like this. Okay, so what I got to do is change my glasses, get my other ones on. And I've been taking this saw apart a little bit at a time. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. And I might as well just sit here and visit with you while I'm doing that. That way I'm not talking just myself. So when I get these 372s, pretty much just strip them out. And, I'm still learning things. Guys, 40 years of this, 41 years. Here's one thing I learned. I love these metal trays with the magnets. You can keep all your nuts and bolts. But you know what you don't do? You don't set it on your bench amongst your tools. Because when you pick it up, it's just covered with tools. So there's something I learned. I guess I ought to put these caps back on. I'm still digging these old junk saws up, guys. I really am. I guess I like resurrections. You know, that's what I really like. So why shouldn't we get... This is stuff nobody else would mess with. You know that. So when I buy the parts that I showed you earlier, I can end up with a nice saw. I won't take a real nice one and do much with it. I just... Chainsaws are tools, guys. They really are. I know I see on a lot of other tiny little channels, they'll take nice saws and do crazy things to them. It's like, oh, man that's made a living on a chainsaw for a long time, and I know there's many of you out there watching me that does this. You just kind of cringe, like, oh, man. That's kind of why I like them Farmer Tech saws, you know the truth. You ain't hurting much. Easy to upgrade. You put a good crank into them, bearings, and get a highway or a cylinder or meteor or whatever, you know. You're not wrecking OEM stuff, but it's a cheap investment to just kind of get into it. I got to make sure that I don't pull anything apart that I didn't want apart. These things can be just a little bit of a puzzle. You got this little hook and twist thing you got to do on these. There we go. Then you got to get that spring out of there. I'll bring that down so you can... It's kind of like fighting with something. But you learn these little tricks. You get behind that little spring and you kind of shove that bugger down out of the way, and then you get it out. If it would just stay, which this one doesn't want to. Some of these come apart real nice, and some of them are just buggers. Okay. Just bear with me. Boy, you'd think I never did this before. Okay. Once I get that spring passed right there, the next one will just boop boop. You want to try something, get on camera. Try to take something apart easy. That don't happen. They're kind of a little, kind of a twist and pull thing. That's what it really does. There we go. All right. So I got a nice gas tank out of that. It's dirtier than heck. The spring mounts look really nice. They're good mounts. So, put that with my collection. Now what I gotta do, get this little C-clip. That means another glass is changed. Now you young fellas, you wait. Your day's coming. Okay. Get a hold of that just right. You don't have any trouble with that. Go. Another nice wrist pin. Now we just got the chain brake. A little bearing, wrist pin bearing. Guys, I made a score the other day. Might you know about it. There's a saw shop that's been in business near me for a very, very long time. And he got a hold of me. It says, Harvey, why don't you come up? I got some saws. So I went and looked. Amongst them was a 450 Homelight, 272K, which is concrete saw, a few Shindawas, a saw I ain't got a clue which is, which I'll just show it to you. One of you guys will tell me what it is. It's something I'm not familiar with. And stuff like that. I said, okay, what do you want for it? Nothing, just take it. The price is right. Got a 359 Husky. Actually, that's a pretty decent saw with a scored cylinder piston. So, gotta find my screwdriver again. You know, you can set this stuff down right there. And it comes up missing. And this is where it goes. You've seen me for several years sit here and watch me drop everything. And it's not going to stop. That little spring right there, get your screwdriver in there, just do that. Right? Just boom. I say boom. There. See, I didn't lose it. Pull that out. Pull that out. Pull that spring off. That takes your tension off here. Get under your band. Just start loosening it up out of this area right here. See that? You just pop that end right up out of the slot. Then you got it without hurting anything. Got it all apart. So that's good. Our studs are good there. Might as well save them. Got this little air horn. The Great Debate air horn. Getting that out of the way. Give me just a second. I'll go get a saw. It's a puzzle to me. But these bolts, what I do is I've got bolt trays that I put them in, and I put them by size for every series of saw I work on. I put like items with like items. Obviously, you keep your Husky and your steel bolts apart. But you know, you get where you look at this stuff, you just look at the bolt and know exactly what they went to and what part of the saw that it belongs to. We're in pretty good shape here. It's time to split cases. Here's what we got. What the heck is it? It's an F55A. I see no name on the saw. Rather interesting. Color-coded. Choke and stop. The most oddball thing is the fuel tank is over here, the cover for it. That's really strange, isn't it? One of you guys know exactly what this bugger is. You know what I didn't see? I didn't see where you put the freaking bar oil. Yeah. It would not be under that, would it? No. I'll bet you a dime and a donut that's what it is. But you know, whatever this is, it's a good one. Interestingly, it's got compression. So whatever it is, it'll run. There's probably one of you guys out there that's got one of these that needs some parts. But I first want to know exactly what this is. Okay, that's about it for this video, guys. It's raining like crazy, and I need to have some lunch. And then we're going to run some saws later if it quits raining. Thank you for showing up. And goodbye.